Hey guys, my name is David Breer and welcome to Fintech Insider On Air episode 33. Thank you so much for joining us last week. We had a bunch of people live and even more watching it afterwards, so thanks very much for that. Last week I was sipping espresso martinis at about this time in San Francisco, which was really good fun with our Ned, Lisa Gansky. Really great episode, so go check that out over on my Periscope or over on the 11FS YouTube channel. This week we're talking to Loral Quinn, who is the CEO and co-founder of Sustainably. How's it going?
Hi David, it's all good, yeah,
well,
great.
Thanks very much for joining us today. I know you've had a busy schedule in terms of running the business, setting up the business and everything that goes with it. But before we get into the company, do you want to explain a little bit more about your background?
Yeah,
I think very relevant to what it is that you're doing now.
Yeah, I used to head up digital marketing and strategy for a FTSE 100. Well, it wasn't always that, but I helped scale it from 6 to 30 countries in 10 years. And then was laterally advising the board on digital transformation. That was an investment company.
So you made it a FTSE 100?
Yeah, it was all me, yeah. And I guess at that time was kind of thinking about what am I doing with my life, having one of those maybe midlife crisis, and was really inspired by things like Acorns Investing, Tom's Shoes and Pokemon Go, and just thought, let's just try something out.
Nice.
So created a Fintech for social good platform.
Very good.
Like you do.
I mean, over that period, you must have seen a significant change, like you say, in that market, because the sort of explosion with from a digital media perspective and everything that communities are, and
definitely.
I mean how different organisations first feared digital and have moved to digital. It's
absolutely
fun times, eh?
I think the whole landscape has completely changed, and it's been really interesting for me, an interesting journey, and still on that journey. So
tell us a little bit more about Sustainably.
So Sustainably is a new way of living and giving, and it's all about enabling individuals to have a positive impact as part of everyday life in really simple and frictionless ways. And again, comes back to that Tom's Shoes model. When you buy something, you do something good.
Yeah.
But with Sustainably, you just connect your bank card through open banking, and then every time you shop on your card or connected device, and literally anywhere you shop, we microdonate your spare change to causes you care about, so that you can actually have an impact every day in a small way. We're building a platform that retailers can give instantly to what you care about, enabling them to localise and personalise their social responsibility at scale in really frictionless ways again.
Fantastic. And like you say, it's almost people doing what they would do anyway, but then charities being able to benefit from that in a really meaningful way.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 11 charities signed up at the moment, and we're just onboarding more, but we're really trying to align with the UN Sustainable Development Goals in terms of that if you're buying something, you can help eradicate poverty or help give someone clean water. It's just a kind of really simple way to close that do-good impact loop, so you can actually see your impact instantly. I know. I think when people sort of quantify those things, it obviously has a much greater impact, and it's not just this isn't just a niche thing. You know, we're seeing, we always kind of run through some statistics, but 57% of 16 to 24-year-olds want to give more to charity. Looking at the stats from 17 to 18, average monthly donation is around £44 for the year. Women are way more likely, because men are tight, I guess, to give to animal charities. That's 29 to 19%, and hospitals 29 to 20%, and that 83% of millennials said they would actually engage with companies who portrayed actually more of an environmental impact as well. So I mean, this is not a small niche of people who are looking to kind of do good and feel good. Absolutely.
So I guess, why has this not really been addressed before? Is this a symptom of almost like leaving behind that do good and feel good from a analog age, and actually what you're bringing is charity into the digital?
Yeah, I think we're kind of doing a range of things, because I think CSR, corporate CSR, has sometimes not been accessible. And then from the charities perspective, 1 in 5, I don't believe, from a recent report I was looking at, don't have a digital strategy. So I think there is like a lot of disparities and a lot of gaps that need to be closed up, which is what we're doing with our platform in terms of creating a simple way for you to see your impact and get given multiple different ways. So I think that enabling this simple mechanism is just a sort of critical factor, and just on that sort of path towards creating a robust and scaled platform, which doesn't really exist at the moment. So it's a good spot for us.
And how much do you think? I guess we've sort of gone from the being at your grocers or something and having a box with an African child on it and feeling that urge to do something about it, so put some pennies or put some pounds in it. Like, how is that, I guess, transitions? Because, I mean, we're seeing big issue sellers having contactless card payments capability. We're sort of seeing that bridge of the analog delivery mechanism with a digitized payment. I guess from your perspective, you're reducing all of that friction. This is allowing people to kind of know the thing that they always wanted to do, but do it in an easy way. Yeah,
I think it's that, and I think it's kind of essentially enabling the multiple different routes, because I think what exists out there is just many different point solutions for one-off giving, for event giving, for sponsorship, for corporate giving, for retailers giving on your behalf, and we're trying to close that into one space so you can actually understand your impact and get the benefit of all of that. So I think we'll see kind of advances in those. I mean, Facebook and Google are in the space with Facebook Donate Now and Google One Today, and Monzo and Revolut are all doing something as well. So I think there's a real movement towards doing good, and it really is driven by millennials and Gen Z who want to buy for and work for companies who are doing good. And at the moment, they're in the UK, I think it's over 11 billion of them are actually giving to good causes.
Wow.
And 2.7 billion pounds was given by them. So they're not kind of, they do have a significant amount of money that they're kind of putting into good causes.
Well, and that amount of money can do amazing things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if it's channeled towards, because there's so many different charities for so many different things, but actually really channeling this stuff towards really, really good causes can make amazing differences.
Definitely. And I think we were kind of mentioning about the fact that still such a significant amount of money is donated through cash. But if you think about how simple it could be if the cash was removed, because most people don't carry cash. I mean, I know only a couple of people that kind of are still using cash. I'm like, why don't you do it in a different way?
Do you know what? I have an emergency fiver on me because I was a very good Cub Scout at one point, but other than that, I never really use cash anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like over 50% of donations is still cash, which you kind of find hard to believe in this digital world. So we're kind of looking at how we can change all of that, so we can increase the capacity for people to have a positive impact and see what's trending in their communities and really get behind stuff that they can actually feel that they're having that positive difference as well.
And do you think, I guess that change from is there any negative connotations from traveling to digital? I think, from the people who are donating, there's almost a feel of like self-congratulatory nature of putting a fiver in the poppy appeal thing. Yeah. So I mean, is there something, I guess we need to kind of look on the feedback loop for consumers?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, because less people are giving to charity. Well, let's call them chuggers. Less people are giving to chuggers on the street, but more people want to do good and they want to get that gratification. So I think it's about creating a digital experience that actually really makes you feel good in the moment, and we're actually working on ways that we can improve what we're doing even further with our impact updates every time you give, and you get impact points that you'll be able to use as a currency and so on. So there's lots of different ways with gamification and so on that you can really inspire people, and just by showcasing the actual real life thing that's happened. I think many charities now are trying to figure out how they can close that communication and impact loop so that people can really understand instantly what they're doing, not kind of wait a month or 3 months for a newsletter that's kind of very generic. It has to be much more specific, and we're working on that.
Yeah, I think humanising that is really important.
Absolutely.
And like you say, it's quantifying, the ones that I always think of, like you say, it's like actually this amount of money can, create clean water for somebody in another country for 3 months, so how will you represent that? How do you sort of manifest that back up to a consumer?
Yeah, so when someone gives on Sustainably, they get an impact update instantly saying what's happening with their money, and we'll look at how we use data visualizations as well for that, but at the moment it's kind of just this is what your money is actually doing, and that's kind of our mechanism for closing that impact loop, but it will evolve with data into something which visualizes across those goals, and how we can kind of make sure that people are, I guess, understanding that they're having a significant impact with their spare change. If you think about the volume of cashless transactions, it was like over 500 billion last year. So that's quite a lot of impact that could be made with spare change.
Well, and like say for money that people wouldn't necessarily miss, this has the potential to do amazing things. I mean, why has nobody done this before?
Well, Revolut have just actually launched their roundups to charity. They're supporting 3 charities, and I think other challengers are, well, I know of other challengers are going to be doing something as well. And I think open banking does facilitate this new way to do something good. With Sustainably, it's all about giving with that layer of transparency so you can see your impact, but also giving with privacy so we don't share your details so you can't get hassled to give more, and just being in control of it so you can pause it or change it, set your own limits, get gift aid added on top, and it's all in one place. So I think it's really key that data, people don't want to share their own personal data anymore, and they just need to know that they're actually doing something good and that's having an impact. So that's really what we're focused on doing.
Well, and I think where we are in the cycle from a challenger bank perspective, having this directly tied to Revolut and Wanzo or Starling doesn't really make a great deal of sense when most of those accounts are being used as sort of frivolity spend accounts type thing. You know, the place where most of your spend is still taking place is your primary bank account in terms, whereas actually from your perspective, it's if I've got 2 current accounts, it doesn't matter which one of those and things I'm using, I will still be doing what I need to, but the charity will still be benefiting. Yeah,
so we're connected to 11 banks. That includes some of the challengers as well, and we're just adding more and more as their APIs become available, or if they are available, usable. So it's an ongoing process, but we are available for 90% of the UK banked population at the moment, so that's great. And we're just about to start all our co-branded marketing campaigns as well to get the brand out there.
Very
just
cool.
Launched on the 1st of July.
Very good. So what's next? I mean, there's like a whole horizon of opportunity I guess, in this space in terms of making people feel good, doing good. You know, and this actually, from a scale perspective, you're not asking people to. This is not a leave your bank and switch to this. This is something that can sit nicely on top. Like, arguably, I think this is one of the best use cases for open banking that I've come across. So,
thanks,
what's next for it?
We're building a range of other products actually. So in the app at the moment you can do roundups or monthly happiness. You set a limit on your account, how much you want to give on your roundups, or how much you want to give monthly. You can pause it or change it whenever you like, see your impact instantly. But we're adding different ways to give on top of that, that will kind of complete our suite, and then the retailers enabling them to give to what you care about, and all that's coming down the wires as well, all through just open banking data. So lots of exciting stuff to come, lots of new charity partnerships, and hopefully lots of impact, because that's kind of what we're all about doing, and making it simple for people to understand they can do that.
Very good. Well, I will definitely be going and signing up for this after we're done. So thanks very much for coming in. Really, really exciting to see how this grows. And I think this is going to be one that definitely there'll be a lot of people that are super interested in it. So, cool. I mean, where can people go and find out a lot more? Yeah,
it's a web app at the moment. You just have to visit Sustainably.co and sign up there. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, on any of these things. Sign up. You can recommend charities as well. We're asking our early users to suggest who they want signed up first. We'll get them on the platform and let you know. There's a range on there at the moment, but we're just expanding that every day, so as many charities can sign up as possible.
Fantastic. Sign up, I'm definitely going to, so head over to that website right now and check it out. But thanks very much for joining us this week, guys. We'll be back next week with another guest and some other interesting things for us to sort of be going through as well. If you want to drop us any feedback, you can hit me over on @DavidBreer on Twitter, or if you want to send us an email, you can hit me on david@11fs.com. That's all for this week. Goodbye.